What is that?
I don't know. I think it's a lot of what people hear, right? Like on memes or TikTok or whatever, and they just emulate it.
I feel like they don't really do that anymore,
and
though.
like the whole send it. Like I feel like everybody says it like that a lot of times because that's the meme. It's like, bro, just send it.
Send that.
And then like Logan Paul and Jake Paul start saying it, and then everybody starts saying it. You know what I mean?
They are your fucking. They're your like spiritual antagonists. Do you hate the Paul brothers?
I do. I think Logan's got to watch his ass, but not because of me, okay? But because I don't know if you heard. This kind of ties into the tech stuff. So let's go into our segment. What? Guys, we're gonna get into the tech segment known as Chris's Tech Talk. Logan better watch his fucking ass.
Right, it gave me like, remember Top Gun? Like, I want some butts. Like that. He better watch his cheeks.
So we'll lead off with that. Let me see, because I wanted to talk about that actually, but I didn't put it in the.
Talk about Logan's butt.
So, well, we all heard about Sam Bankman-Fried in his like whole thing of shit with FTX getting arrested. This guy's facing life in prison, dude. He's got like
Life?
Yeah, dude. He's got like 40-something charges against him.
Jesus
and
Christ.
He's testifying in court this week, this past week. So he is looking like he's going to be in a bang shit. And the problem, I mean, what he did, though, where he fucked up, is he got involved with rich people getting involved in his shit. They weren't just like Logan
they all
Paul
got
followers.
lawyers, yeah.
These guys were like
Tom
Shark
Brady
Tank
and them, yeah.
kind of fucking dude. Like what's his name, Mr. Wonderful and shit was involved in this. So they're gonna make sure his ass gets nailed to the wall. But his girlfriend, I don't know what she was. She was fucking weird though. But she testified against him. His other friend testified against him and like gave a lot of evidence and like stories. They said they paid like a Thai hooker to funnel money to like the Chinese government or some shit in some kind of way. It was like some crazy story, dude.
I like how they can go this fucking much in depth after one dude, but like big banks are like, I don't know. It's impossible to figure out where America's $1 trillion went. You know what I mean? Like, like shut the fuck up, dude.
And you're talking like billions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Also, there was another big one that got busted. I want to say it was Crypto Moon or something like that. But
I want to clip that.
Let me look up.
Oh, isn't there some dude that like went after CoffeeZilla and then like he ended up getting fucked? Oh, I like his little claymation symbol guy.
Yeah, Safe Moon. So if you guys want to watch a good breakdown of it, check out CoffeeZilla. He's really good about breaking it down. But these guys got busted this past week too, and they were trying to sue CoffeeZilla for like defamation.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, go fuck yourselves. But they busted him this week. So the crypto dominoes are starting to fall on these guys because the government's finally, the SEC and
finally knows what
other
it
agencies are starting to like catch the drift, and I think CoffeeZilla has a lot to do with that too. But the reason I say Logan Paul better watch his ass is because I think he's on the list, bro, of like who they're investigating. I think down the line they're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna take a lot of your money, and it's probably a lot of what you make. Because I know Logan Paul's like a millionaire, but he literally stole millions of dollars from people. He rug pulled like a couple times, not just once, like 3 times. He did rug pulls.
He's a scammy dude.
So,
but I mean, like, I don't.
You know what? I don't mind what he does on YouTube. Honestly, I'm just like, fucking do what you do on YouTube. But the second you start like taking money from people, possibly like children or teenagers,
bro.
Not fucking cool.
But the government does it on the regular. Like,
I get it.
But like, that's what I'm saying. So they're going after this dude who, yes, he's a scumbag, whatever. But that's fucking pennies, dude, in terms of like.
What do you mean the government, though?
I'm just saying, like, they didn't give a fuck before. Like, think about how many times you get a fucking a bogus text or voice message from another fucking, like, someone trying to steal your money, right? There's no fucking blocks in place for that. So then why are they using him as a, you know, like poster boy for this fucking dumb shit when there's people, like old people, getting it on the regular, dude? How many times they scammed old people out of like $75,000 each or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking ludicrous.
Well, it's harder to bust them because they're in India a lot of times. They're Indian call centers.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way that, like, there's no protocols that they could put in place.
They cooperate with Indian government officials, but come on, the Indian government's got corruption just like every other fucking government.
Bro, I get phone calls from Shanghai daily, and it goes to fucking voicemail when I check it. Swiss, and I'm like, dude, yeah, I know. Like, I know.
But these guys get paid off. They get paid off. They pay off the cops in their town to not do shit. You know, they make a lot of money off these scams, and then they just fucking pay people off.
That's what I'm saying. It's bullshit.
And some of them do get busted. What some of them do get busted because
what Jake Paul is doing is bullshit. But you fell for the con.
Yeah.
But that's one dude. There's like a whole.
I'm sorry, you're dumb if you invested in anything he promotes. Honestly, especially crypto.
Yeah.
That's something.
That's why I don't have remorse for them. Or not remorse, but like I don't have empathy for them.
Like when you go, hey, I spent my life savings investing in this fucking Dink Doink coin.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you fucking serious? Like, why would you do that? First of all, never put all your eggs in one basket. Second of all, like, why don't you go through something like a normal trading app like Robinhood and make like spread your investments out so you at least cover your ass if something. It's never guaranteed, but you gotta like have multiple investments. And if you're throwing like a large chunk, thinking this crypto coin is gonna go through the roof, I'd say like 90% of them go to shit.
Yeah.
Like why?
And
like
third of all,
it's like the NFT stuff.
If you have money to invest like that, I'm jealous and I don't care. Fuck you for being able to lose that much.
I'm like, if you're losing your house over one investment, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like point blank. Like you should always have backup money for emergencies. B, you shouldn't be investing something that could put you into bankruptcy. You know, you should never invest that much money. You're better off keeping it in the bank or just putting it in a savings account or something. You know what I mean? If it's gonna break you, like you never invest like your whole income into something. You always got to have like a nest egg and like a backup plan. Like, you know, if something fails, because shit, fucking, who knows? The stock market could fucking tank tomorrow.
And it probably will.
No, don't say that. Please don't say that.
Who's that guy that?
Anyway, I'm ranting a little bit, but I agree with you. It's dumb, but these guys deserve to get in trouble for it. They deserve to get fined for it as well because they promoted this shit on their channels and they're very popular YouTubers. You know what I mean? They have a big platform. Logan Paul is probably one of the biggest YouTubers there is. And for him to be promoting this and then he's the only one getting rich. I see if everybody else is getting rich with him on it or they're at least making money on it. But he literally would pump up the coin, withdraw all of his shit, and then fucking the coin would tank and everybody else would lose their fucking money. And that's just like blatant greedy fucking.
Wasn't that what
bullshit.
Corporate execs do all the time?
That's what happened with FTX.
So I'm like,
fucking Sam Bankman-Fried just fucking billions of dollars spending it on stupid shit. And then of course it goes downhill and yeah. So don't invest crypto. Just unless you know what you're doing, stay away from it.
I still don't understand what crypto actually is and why it exists.
At least in the stock market, you can research companies and their backgrounds and what's happened in the past with them, usually with most companies.
And they produce a product or service.
They have to produce a report with legitimate numbers from an accountant and it's verified by the SEC and everything like that. So I'm not saying they're all safe investments. I'm just saying at least you have information, you know? So use your head when you do investments. I'm not giving you I'm not telling you to invest your money in anything. I'm just saying do your research if you're gonna.
This stream sponsored by.
Yeah. This stream is sponsored by Robinhood. No,
Yeah.
Also, in the world of like scumminess, scamminess, if you have a 23andMe account, you may want to turn on your two-factor authentication because they've been hacked, and it's huge. Like they got a shit ton of users, login info, and everything like that. And there was also word that 23andMe was selling people's information as well. On top of that,
doesn't surprise me.
And just think about this. This is your genetic information
Code, right?
being given away to people. So you're talking not only like your race and your creed, but like your family
Patterns,
trees. So
medical
who
histories,
you're
probably
related to, they can get your mother's maiden name, for instance. So if you have 23andMe, I would say definitely change your password and turn on two-factor. And also, you may want to stop using it and see if you can get your information removed from it, because I would not trust these guys.
Yeah, quit trying to find out if you're 1% black.
Yeah. I was watching. There's a Bill Burr movie out. That just came out, Bad Dads.
Bad Dads. Yeah, is it good?
It's good.
It looks pretty good.
It's good. I love Bill Burr, and it's definitely just his humor throughout the entire movie, so it's fucking great. But there's one thing where the guy, they were having like a parents meeting, and the guy goes, "Actually, I'm 3%. I'm 3% Japanese, so you gotta respect like my, And Bill Burr's like, he's fucking white, right? Like I'm not fucking imagining things. He's fucking white, right? And the guy's like, I don't know anymore. But it's a lot of that. It's a lot of like millennial fucking
Yeah.
And there was a funny part in the movie too where the guy rolls up and he's talking to like the young employees, right? He's the boss. He's one of the main characters, but he walks up to the young employees and he goes, "Yo, man, did you check out the new iPhone? It's fucking dope, right?" And they're like, "Actually, we're on Android. We're on Android. Open platform, blah blah." And I was like,
Shots fired. Shots fired.
That was a shot at me. That was a shot at me because everybody's on. Dude, you check out the new phone? Yeah. We don't use iPhones, and I'm like, I'm kind of that guy sometimes.
It's an inferior product.
It's true. Samsung, Android for life.
That does. Honestly, that conversation when it comes up every time, it sends Chris spiraling every time.
I can't.
And depending on his blood alcohol level, he's more and more intense about it. Drunk Chris talking about the superiority of Android to Apple iOS is one of my favorite things to listen to.
It happens every now and then. Yeah.
He's like, you guys,
we just lost all our viewers.
You fucking switched it to fucking.
Just lost all our viewers because of that.
USB-C anyway.
Yeah. I love that. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
Hey, talk about this.
I'm getting triggered.
Talk about this. This beat boot.
Rumors about for Nvidia's RTX 4070 and 4080 super cards. So the big event coming up, obviously, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, happening in January. Probably the biggest tech show of the year, if not, it's probably one of the biggest tech shows, if not the biggest tech show. But there are rumors of the 4080 and 4070 Super. So the Super lines are like the step above the TI line. So there's like a 4080, a 4080 Ti, but they don't have a 4080 Ti. But anyway, it goes Ti and then Super.
You know that makes it sound stupid, right?
Yeah, it totally does. That and it's the joke of the like all these, especially Gamers Nexus, when they talk about the naming of these cards and these chips, they're just like the 13700 KS XXXTY 1887, and then they just look at the camera and they go, the stupidest name ever.
Yeah.
Like people in tech don't know how to, people in tech just don't know how to market to outside of people outside of their world.
Yeah.
Like I even you're like, these guys could just hire like a young, like a decently young, like someone my age or maybe a little younger to like, or younger to like just advertise on your box properly.
Because
Like,
all of these sound like Terminator models.
yeah.
Oh shit! The fucking RTX 4080 is coming after us.
Yeah.
Like that. Actually, I just realized I have a homegirl that works at Nvidia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We should get the digs, man.
Oh yeah.
Maybe she can give us some
Maybe
inside info.
Hey, bring her on here.
We haven't seen the super cards since the 20 series, but basically the 4070 is probably one of their better selling cards. Although they start at now they dropped in price, but right now you can get one for around $550, I want to say. And the 4080 is going for around $1,100 bucks right now. So still like way out of the price range for like so the super cards are going to be more expensive than that, obviously. So dude, I like when I was building my computer, the hardest thing was to look at graphics card prices because back
in my day.
not even back in my day, like 5 years ago, you could get like a higher end mid-tier card, not the top of the line, but for like $500 you were getting like pretty close to the top of the line stuff. Like for the top of the line, you were paying like 800, 900, maybe 1,000. Now it's top of the line is like 1,600, 1,700. Mid tier is now like between 600 and 1,000. And then like really bottom tier, which isn't shit for the average person, but for like someone who games a lot or does like high end rendering and stuff like that, 3D rendering, you gotta get one of these like $600 to $1,000
Bro,
cards.
you
And
said back in your day, dude. The last time I built a PC, graphics cards didn't have fans on them. That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's a lot.
That's fucking nuts.
I think the first one I built, I had a small fan, like a really small fan.
And
but
I
it's
remember
nothing like these.
I remember
big-ass
everything
coolers
was
now.
RAM.
Yeah.
All I wanted was RAM.
RAM is
RAM
way
and
over
hard
like,
drive space.
It was way over heights back in
Yeah.
the day too, because RAM is important, but not that important. It's like the third thing in the line of things you need to think about, probably. But it matters.
Now, all of this talk, it makes me smile because like this is what my parents must have felt like I sounded like back in like the Sega days, where I'm like, oh mom, the fucking graphics do 32 bits.
Yep.
Oh my god, Nintendo 64 bits graphics.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a rumble pack and blah blah. It's the same. I guarantee I sound the same saying the RTX 4070 Super. Oh man, fucking graphics, dude. Oh man.
I mean, I just picked up my video card, so I'm just like, we'll see what comes. I hear you though.
I just
up,
think
Adam?
it's super
How you
funny
doing?
because it's like the people that are gonna go to the convention to look for this are like giga dorks that want to be taken seriously, but when you're like, oh man, I really can't wait for the RTX 4070 Super to come out.
Yeah.
You just sound silly, like and you realize it's a very silly thing. It's a business that is to be taken seriously because of the numbers that are like being talked about, right? $1,000, fucking $2,000 for a graphics card, but it's a silly sounding object that makes you enjoy your silly things more.
I can't have this I can't have this conversation with majority of people. Not
Yeah.
because they're dumb or anything. It's just because they just don't care.
Yeah, can you
Right?
imagine talking to our wives about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
like,
no-
like I
no.
try to. I'd be like, dude, yeah, I'm waiting for this graphics card, the blah blah blah, to come out, and then I think I'm gonna do this. And people just look at me like, okay.
Honestly, I think Christine
Like-
would be like, so can I play The Sims on there?
It's always The Sims is like a minimum
A
requirement.
benchmark. Yeah.
But
World of Warcraft.
that's the important thing though, is you got to buy a graphics card for what you're gonna use it for practically, right? It's easy to like watch these reviews and get like all caught up in the numbers and the frame rates and the like, the temperatures and the power draw. But in reality, like 90% of people will run just fine with like a decent cheap graphics card.
As much of a geek as I am, I still don't understand, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, aspect ratios. Or like frames a second. Like I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here. What make it fucking pop on the screen the way I need it to. That's it. That's all I care about. Just make it work.
So FPS matters in that sense where you want above a certain FPS, otherwise the game looks like shit. Like you'll get a lot of stuttering or jitteriness, right?
But that's only if you're good at the game.
So like a minimum
Do I
is
need
like
90 FPS if I'm still shit at
Right.
Fortnite? No.
It matters more in FPS shooters, right?
Yeah.
Because frame rate helps you play better. Just basically you can, snipe people, you can move faster.
Yeah, because you got to jump on them by
things are
literal
updating
fractions
quicker.
of seconds.
Yeah. So if you're a pro player, especially, a lot of them don't play the games in 4K. They'll play in like 1080p because they get the highest frame rate. So you're not going for aesthetics. You're going for advantages.
Oh.
So it matters on what you play. But if you're playing something like God of War or Starfield, like the frames don't matter as much. You just want the game to look good and run smoothly. Like that's if you're not cranking everything up and the game looks great to you, it's just like me. I'm like at high settings, not ultra. There's like an ultra setting, but I'm like, no, I play it on high. The game runs smoothly. It looks good. At 2K, I'm cool with that.
Dude,
I don't need 200 frames. It doesn't make sense.
The last computer that I built, I had the CRT monitor, and I tried to crank up World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like, my computer can handle it.
It's just like
and
that's the problem when you're running the game at the settings you want to run at, and it's jittery as fuck like that. Then that's when you're like, okay, maybe I should get another graphics card. But if you're playing like League of Legends or Fortnite or whatever, and it's running fine on your computer, just fucking don't bother spending the money.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, because Nvidia is literally just like charging a fucking arm and a leg, like to get these graphics cards. Like the 4070 being at $600 is fucking ridiculous. That should be like a $400 card, $500 max. But they start at $600, and that's why I waited so long to buy one, because I was just like, I'm waiting. I waited till AMD's new card came out, and I was like, that's the price point. It's got the performance I want. Pulling the trigger. But these, I wouldn't even be interested in these, because I know they're gonna probably, the 4070 Super is probably gonna be around $700, and the 4080 is probably gonna be around $1,200. So not even in my realm of what I would fucking buy, I would pay for, not even in the realm of what I would buy. There are people that will.
Because how long will that stay at the top of market? The 4080 Super.
Probably like 2 more years. Yeah.
And it's not like you're going to replace it. It'll be good for the life of your computer. It's just if you're interested in getting top of the line everything all the time, then it doesn't make sense to you.
If you get if you have a 4090 now, you shouldn't have to get a new card for like at least 2 more generations after.
Is that the kind of rule of thumb? It's like it stays at least. I mean, obviously,
there's always going to be the
down.
people who want the newest and the best.
Yeah,
right. Like there's those people.
But what I'm saying is, like, when they release games that are going to be graphically intensive, the kind of rule of thumb would be 2 generations. Like, if you're obviously the people that have the newest thing can run it, within 2 generations, you should still be able to run. Like, if a new game came out today, 2 generations should be able to run it, no problem.
Yeah, I think depends on the games that you play and that you want to play. For instance,
Minesweeper.
If you're running Minesweeper,
you're
gonna need top of the line.
Super. You need the super.
Yeah, because your shit will fucking crash. But no, there was a new game that came out, City Skylines 2, that just came out, and basically really it's like a Sim City type of game, right? And you can make super intensive, like massive cities. But this was tanking the 4090. And part of that is bad game optimization, and part of that is just like the massive rendering scale of these games, right? And they pulled it off the market, I think, for consoles, because they were like, oh shit, like if it's tanking the 4090, like the 4090 is top of the line, this shit should be running the game like pretty solid 100 FPS, I would say. It's in the 30s, like at 4K. So you're like, something's up with the game, because first of all, it shouldn't be tanking your card that way. But also, it's just speaking to, like, they can make these games even if they're optimized. The technology is moving pretty quick in games now, where you got Unreal Engine 5 coming up with some pretty fucking crazy stuff. And you know, you got ray tracing, you got all this stuff, and once people start utilizing more of that tech, that's when graphics cards are going to start taking a shit. Your old graphics cards are going to start taking a shit because it's going to be like it just won't be able to do it. So who knows? It depends if you want to play those games too, though. Like I said, like, you know, the new Alan Wake that just came out also has been pretty graphically intensive. They said it's well optimized, but you do need a higher end to like play it in higher resolutions. Now, if you're cool playing on 1080p, you probably get away with a lot fine. But if you want to go like full on 4K, yeah, that's where it gets a little iffy. But it's what you need. What do you need? What do you need? Sometimes you don't need it, okay?
Agreed.
Especially when you're a nerd in your mom's basement and you don't fucking leave your house anyway. Who are you gonna be like, whoa, dude, look at this? Like, you're like,
yeah,
looking
those
around
digital
your room
boobs are still gonna be digital, dude.
I mean, Pornhub still looks fine.
Yeah.
So, but that's it for my. Do you got any other things for this, Chase? Okay, that's it for Chris's Tech Talk today.